When I'm not enraged that the new emojis came out and there still is not an adequate penguin emoji, and I don't count the side profile one, that isn't really what penguins are all about. I like to answer questions that I get on YouTube, so let's get to it. Sean, have you seen the latest Scott Groove from Groovy Music Lessons video? He's used one of your thumbnails and basically dissed you, bro, LOL. You really need to check it out. Play more now, please. So this is Salty Blues YouTuber of the week. And apparently this guy took one of my thumbnails on diminished chords and then just went on to give the most miseducational guitar lesson I've ever seen about how the 7th degree in a scale should be a minor chord, not diminished chord. And it's just I'll link you below because it's pretty fantastic. Basically calls me a douchebag, whatever. Now, a lot of you may know that one of my New Year's resolutions was to start YouTube beef with somebody. I really was hoping for better than this, but I guess I'll just take what I can get. 2 quick questions. Do you rehearse your videos or is it all improv? You've got some comedic timing. Your material's not too shabby. In my opinion, Green Day is not punk. I grew up in LA during the 70s, 80s, and so that era, in my opinion, was punk. What genre do you feel like gets misrepresentation or a lumping effect? So believe it or not, these videos have 0 rehearsal time in any way, shape, or form. I guess sometimes I think of the opening line. I try to think of the opening line. And that definitely takes the longest out of any part of the actual videos. But yeah, 0 rehearsal, which is the only way I can kind of keep it going. As far as the genre thing, I mean, yeah, some people would say Green Day isn't punk. A lot of people would say Rancid is punk, that kind of thing. I don't know. The genre thing is just weird. I don't know if misrepresented is the word, but alternative is still the most mysterious genre to me. I've heard absolutely almost every type of music be considered alternative. I have no idea what alternative really means. I think it's just something they just lump absolutely everything that doesn't fit squarely into a genre into alternative. I definitely see I see punk, and that's kind of why I like metal, because I feel the subgenres of metal are very, very appropriate. I've never seen someone miscast as a pirate metal band. They're usually pretty right on about it. So just like everything else, we could learn a lot from metal. Nickelback of Guitar YouTube channels? So first of all, with the Nickelback thing, last week I was naming the Nickelback of respective genres. Being the Nickelback of a genre doesn't necessarily mean you're bad or that I don't even like you. I know that Emerson, Lake, and Palmer fans kind of got a little upset about that. Probably rightfully so. But the Nickelback of guitar channels would obviously be music is win, right? I mean, that would be a beef I would be more accustomed to or happy with. But I don't know, maybe Stitch's channel. Ian's got some Nickelback tendencies going on over on his thing, but I don't really know what I would be the channel of band-wise. So please give me your suggestions. I'd love to hear those. Hey Sean, how long did it take you to be able to competently jam with other players? It took me actually a really long time because that wasn't really my goal when I first set out. I remember, so I was self-taught. I didn't have any friends or family that played any kind of instrument of any kind. I just got really into guitar. I thought it was cool. I was big into writing songs, writing instrumentals and stuff. And for that, I really only had to kind of jam with myself, which is totally different because you understand what you're doing, you get kind of where things are going. And really just kind of fooling around by ear over maybe chords that I had on a looper or recorded or something. So jamming with other players is something that I absolutely never even practiced in the earlier stages of my playing. So I was awful at it. I would have been totally lost my first 6 years of playing if I got thrown into a jam. And I was pretty ability-wise at that point. I could do a lot of stuff. I could play a ton of Hendrix songs reasonably well. But again, I would be absolutely 100% out of my depth if it came to jamming with somebody else. So I think that's where kind of getting into the music theory stuff really helped me, and learning arpeggios and kind of how scales connect with certain chords was immensely helpful, because a lot of people, I think, maybe if they kind of get into it with a bunch of their friends, maybe they start a band early, or they just have maybe a family member that's played, they kind of get shown stuff a lot quicker, and their ears probably develop in a way like, oh, I can kind of like, you know, play along with that or something. But yeah, that wasn't the case for me. I know that's not the case for a lot of people. So that's why I really stress kind of thinking of chord progressions. You guys know I'm big on chords on pretty much everything on this channel. That's a huge reason why, is because kind of seeing a chord and being like, okay, this part of a song has a G major. These guys are playing in the key of G. That means if I want to jam along with them, I could play anything on this G major arpeggio run. I could take anything from the G major scale. I could do, you know, just different like chord voicings around the neck and kind of jam out. So that's why I'm really big on teaching those things, because for me it was like a big eye-opening thing, and being able to kind of get into that world, because it was something that I totally just kind of skipped as far as like the developmental stages of learning guitar. So for listening homework this week, I'm going to turn you on to a dude named Shaky, who's been around for a while and is absolutely awesome. My student Cecily, shout out, actually turned me on to this guy. I think he's got a really cool sound. Bluesy guitar-wise, I think it's fantastic, so definitely check out the song Tomorrow by him. And feel free to go on an internet deep dive like I just did last night. And if you have any questions or comments, hit me up in the comment section, Instagram, Twitter, or the website, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks a lot.